Hello traders, welcome to the video for today is Monday, September 8th. So start of the week here on ES, you can see we're starting off green right off the bat. If we go into the daily and also if we put in the news, you can see today, tomorrow, no news. Wednesday, we have PPI coming up. Also, remember, the third Friday of September is going to be the expiration for the September contracts on futures. So, right the day before that, on Thursday, let me give you the exact date. So, it'll be on Thursday, 18. I'm going to be moving into the December 2025 contract, and obviously I'll let you all know ahead of time. Here we have the daily chart. So as you can see, I've adjusted the daily level. I had it at 65.05 right here, but you can see 65.16 now has more recent confluence of resistance. So I've moved it slightly up to the 65.16 area. So far, Asia open, you can see we're having a slight pullback on here. 4 hour, we are trying to get the continuation out of this node, but you can see so far we have been failing to do so today. We did come up to the upper edge, which was the target for today. We spoke about this yesterday. When I did the analysis yesterday, we were right over here, and I marked off the 64.90, 150 level, which was this resistance here, and that was near the edge of the node here. You can see support, resistance, and then you can see right here we broke through, and then right here 1 o'clock, 2, 3 hours in a row tested this level, and we had a very nice push up at the end of the day. And then to the upside, we have not yet filled the entire single prince area from last Friday, but we did come and retest this area of support at this daily level that I marked off here now. Okay, this is our weekly profile forming. So as of now, any pullbacks down into the 64.90s is the area that I would like to see hold. I do not want to see any strong hourly closes below 64.91. If that happens, then we're opening the door back for 64.70s, and then the 64.61, which is a very key level here, right at the large edge of the node. Upside, we want to break above the daily level, fill in the single prints up into 65.24, and then from there, we're coming right back into this little low volume node resistance with all-time highs directly after that. Okay, so going into the weekly charts, the weekly profiles with the hourly chart. So zooming out, you can see again, there's a lot of confluence of resistance in this area right here. This was the highs from 2 weeks ago. Then we had the support that was broken strongly last Friday. And now that was the high of Monday as well. So we want to break above this level, turn this to support, and then we're looking at this node up on top right over here as our first target. Single fills right here as well. This is the low volume node area and the all-time high. Downside target, like I said, you can see a huge high volume node edge here. So if we lose the lows from today, then we're looking at a move back into this low volume node areas here, and you can see our monthly VWAP as well coming right around these areas too. TPO, Nasdaq already filled this area. We did not fill this on ES, so you can see the single prints from last Friday's RTH here. We still have this area to fill, plus we left a poor high at the RTH session today. So 65.16 is our first target to fix the poor highs from RTH Monday, and then we need to get on top and come to fill in the whole single prints right here into 65.24. Going into tick chart, so zooming out, you can see when we were Friday, we left this very large high volume node with resistance, and then right at the open, we had a very strong move up, pullback, which held right at this previous area of support. And then we had the New York Open. This is what I was talking about as well, where we have the New York Open and we just wick or close through the higher low of the ETH session like we did right here, and then we come back in and we usually will get a transition up to the lower values on the profile, which in this case you can see was right here. And you can see pretty much a very sideways open for the most part on the New York session. You can see we did start getting divergence here on the open right there. Cumulative delta making higher highs, price pushing, making lower highs. So overall, more aggressive buying absorbed. Then we had the impulsive move up, and then we did have the transition here into the downside. And if we zoom out, you can see that the lows from the RTH were exactly right at the top edge. Resistance broken, turned to support here from the overnight trading hour, from the Friday's regular trading hours profile. Then you can see right here, resistance, push up, and we had this fair value gap here that had not been filled up until the last couple of hours of the regular trading hour session. We held at the 64.91, and then we had the push up. So now, looking here at the 5 minutes, we have the RTH profiles, and we are now retesting this value area high, resistance broken, so far holding. But if we do push down into here, you can see we also have a higher time frame, high volume node here. So let me pull this to the left. Take off the lock fill space. Let me do the same here. Let me just take off the lock fill space so it allows me to move this back and forth. So now right here you can see RTH high volume node, and here from the weekly profile as well. So if we have a strong push down here, then we look to short on a pullback to the upper edge for a transition to the bottom edge here. We also have point of control as the first target, but then this is where we would target and we would look to hold this again as support. I don't want to see any strong hourly close below 64.91. And then NASDAQ weekly push up, but you can see back to this heavy area of resistance going into the daily. 23,804 is our big daily level, which is exactly right around where we closed on Monday, and we're sort of stuck right here as well on Tuesday. Okay. Also here, I didn't mention this before, but I just noticed this, that we actually have an inside day here from the Friday candle. So very important to track now the edges of this Friday candle as well to see how we interact with those. Same thing here with NASDAQ. We have the Friday high, Friday low, and you can see Monday was contained within. So now we want to see, are we going to close through the Friday high, or we're just going to wick and close back in? Okay, so we'll be on top of that tomorrow. Depending how tomorrow's candle closes, then we'll discuss what the next strategies would be around those levels. 4 hour. We're back within this high volume node area. As you can see right now, we are rejecting the top edge around the 23,830s. Here on the 1 hour, we can see this more clearly. So we have this high volume node, the high from last week right there. And right now we are exactly right at that daily level, 23,804. So we need a push up, turn this resistance area to support, and then we will be coming back to the Monday highs here, 23,878 hourly level, and the top edge of this low volume node. And then we would have the next one, same thing. You know, I like to just go by levels and zones. So if we're able to then have a strong close through here, then we look to turn this to support, and then we target the upper edge of the next node, etc. Downside, this area right here, as we have marked, you can see this was the pullback support at the end of the RTH today. So 23,760s would be the next area of support, followed by 23,730, and then this general low volume node area. We do have here this fair value gap. So any dips down, this is the major area that I would expect support coming into this big low volume node edge right here into the 23,700 10s, 20s. Okay, and zooming out, you can see here the 23,730. Very key level as well that we had. You can see was big support here, breakdown, then some resistance, and now today we broke out, found support in the Europe Open, and then we had the push up right back into this area highs at the top of this node. So upper target again right here at the highs of Monday. First lower target would be the hourly level. And then if we do have a strong break through this area, we're going to come back into this huge node. So then we would look to flip this area as resistance, pretty much this low volume node shown. Again, any move back here, I expect support, but a strong hourly close through, and then we can flip this bias into a opportunity for some short entries on a back test. Weekly profiles. Here, this is the level that I've been talking about. Very important. Right there, as you can see. Have this node from 4 weeks ago. Heavy support. Then we broke, tested back as resistance, and then the whole breakdown. And now we came back last Friday, last Monday. Okay, so we want to keep building volumes here and then have the breakout. Use the bottom area as support, and then we will be targeting the upper edge of this high volume node first, and then all-time highs right after. To the downside, you can see big high volume node from last week. So pretty much coming into this fair value gap area that I was talking about here. This will be our first target and our first major support area that we are looking at. TPO, unlike ES, you can see today we ended up filling this whole single print from Friday. We filled at the regular trading hours. So now we do have this single prints from the Sunday night, Monday night profile. So that's the main market profile level that we are showing. We have the hourly support here right at the bottom of this high volume node from the overnight session, and then the single prints down below. And if I split this, you can see right there, this was the pullback into this hourly level that we talked about. And this happened between 12 and 2 o'clock a.m. Eastern time, right before Europe opened, before the push up. Tick chart. So zooming out, we had the overnight open, big high volume node on the RTH. We just blew past that the value area high right here. Came up, and then we came back for a retest right at this level, which you can see had very significant reactions coming back from last Friday. And then the open today was less choppy than ES. You can see ES looked like a pretty choppy mess right around the first hour of trading, whereas NASDAQ gave a little bit more of an upwards directional move. Eventually we got to the highs here. You can see we were talking about the over-under pattern recently in the chat, where we have something like this, and you can see it right here. High, move higher, come back down, and now finding resistance again right at the left shoulder area. So we had that breakdown right there. And overall, not a ton of movement today. Again, no major news driving event. 5-minute chart. So you can see we're pretty much right back to the upper edge from the overnight profile on Sunday night. We have the RTH session. So this is our first area. We expect some heavier support right at the bottom edge. Lots of aggressive selling here on the volume profile delta. So first area I expect support, followed by the lows of Monday of the RTH session, and then we'll be looking at the hourly level next. Upside, we need to flip this low volume node area, and then very clear target here, just a whole cluster right at the high of day into this low volume node resistance area. So again, going on the hourly, focus now would be this node. First area, we're looking for some support here, followed mainly by this area right here. Hourly support, large low volume node area right over there. Upside target, highs from Friday and Monday. And if we can have a strong close there, then look to flip this for a edge to edge move coming into this node right on top. Okay, that's pretty much it. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Hope you're having a good evening, and we'll talk tomorrow.